What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I am here with Pedro and Franco. We got a very, very interesting debate for you guys today. Is Lil Wayne the Kobe Bryant of rap? Now, I'm gonna give one of you guys. We're gonna go one at a time here. Franco, since I think you're the opinion, what do you think
per like person, or are we just gonna do like back and forth?
We can go back and forth. Let's go back and forth.
Lil Wayne, the Kobe of rap. I'll let you start. Matter of fact, no. Wait. Before we even get started, let's add some context, okay? Obviously, for those that know us personally or know me personally, they know that like Franco and I have been friends for years, and I think probably a select few, like the close friends of mine, they know that we've been having this debate since before I was probably still in high school.
City 2011.
2011. There we go. 9th grade, 2011. That was the beginning of these debates, and I feel like they get more like over time. Lil Wayne has become less and less relevant as a rapper, but the arguments all remain the same. So I want
like how do we remember him is now the debate.
Sure, yeah. So that's where I'm gonna go ahead. I'm going to put the ball in your court, and I'm gonna let you go ahead and tell us where you stand on Kobe Bryant or Lil Wayne being the Kobe Bean of rap.
You can't say that Lil Wayne is the Kobe Bryant of rap when people are not even aware of the other players out there. Like some people who might say that may not know certain other rappers or hadn't listened to certain other rappers. Like, had they listened to Talib Kweli? Had they listened to MF Doom? Had they listened to Mos Def or Elzai? Or there's so many other rappers out there that they might not be aware of who have more complex rap skills than Lil Wayne. So it's not about record sales. Like, we can't take that away from Lil Wayne. Like, Lil Wayne did sell a lot of records. He was very popular. But in terms of complexity in his rap skills, that is what we're looking at when we say that if he's the best, right?
Complexity, him being the best. Define complexity.
Internal rhyming, his level of metaphors. Is it beyond surface level thinking? Are you rhyming entire sentences, or are you just rhyming the end of the word? Are you only rhyming two different sounds?
That's an interesting point. You give more like edge to a bar that has every single word rhyming in one sentence to the next over one that just rhymes the final word of the sentence.
That requires more talent, more skill in order to rhyme entire sentences. Like, for example, what Eminem does, or what Rakim would do, or what several other rap legends would do.
Oh man, I have to look into it, but I can't say that I remember off the top of my head a time Lil Wayne would do something like that. But the one thing that I can never wrap my head around is this, right? You always tell us that Lil Wayne's music is not beyond surface level thinking. So I'm gonna ask you to define in your words what surface level thinking is, and also what surface level music in terms of being thought-provoking, what does that entail?
So surface level thinking is where you don't have to think too much in order to understand the lyrics. Like, you're just listening to it and then you understand everything that's being said right when it's said. So when you go beyond surface level thinking, that's when you really think about a song and you can dissect it. It can be interpreted in different ways. Like, for example, several Lupe Fiasco songs, like Never Lies, for example. Or you can name a lot of Lupe Fiasco songs. That requires going beyond surface level thinking. Same thing with rappers like Common or Rakim or R.A. the Rugged Man, MF Doom. There's several other legendary rappers where if you listen to their songs, interpreting them are not as easy as interpreting a Lil Wayne song. Not saying that Lil Wayne might not have some. He might have some songs that do require more than just surface level thinking, but I'm just saying that these other rappers do it more.
So would you also include Kendrick in the tier of rappers that go surface level or go,
beyond surface level?
Beyond surface level.
Yeah, Kendrick Lamar is he has a lot of songs that go beyond surface level thinking.
I'll give you that. That's a fair point, but the thing that I can never get my head around is Kendrick and a lot of these, and maybe not a lot of these other guys, but there are some rappers that I feel, could be considered. And I know what you mean when you say not beyond surface level. It took me a lot of time to really think about that, right? Because before I was thinking with my fan hat, right? I was thinking with my heart and not my head, right? He does say a lot of things that, if you don't understand it like the very first time, you will understand it the second time. It's not like super, super deep in terms of meaning. Like for me, when he said real G's move in silence like lasagna, it went right over my head. Literally right over my head. So when I found out...
When everybody talks about.
Yeah, so when I found out that one, I was like, damn, that's so tough. Because...
Yeah,
it may not be surface level to to some people, but to other people it's like there are multiple meanings to the thing. Like and another thing that I've learned as a listener over the years in hip hop is there's certain things that was said in music I've heard like when I was like 10 that I only now at 23 understand what they were saying. Like real G's move in silence like lasagna. So like I had no idea.
That's not something revolutionary, though. That's something a lot of rappers have done before. But that's the thing, though. If you've only listened to Lil Wayne, that would be like mind blowing to you. But if you had expanded out and listened to more rappers,
are you coming for Pedro?
To that kind of stuff.
That's what he accuses me of not listening to other rappers. But this damn moment of mine was like years and years and years ago. I've had a lot more time to learn like hip hop, to learn the history of like other rappers.
Oh yeah, so there's a difference between the eras of someone like Rakim, Common, MF Doom. Those guys are coming from, or not MF Doom, but definitely Rakim, Common, guys like Tribe Called Quest, Nas, Biggie, Tupac. They all came from an era where rap was in its infancy. And you wanted to have the thought-provoking rap, and you wanted to have, like, the conscious stuff, and it was more praised, I guess you could say, and more common. And now, today, it's more like the one-liners, having, like, just tough bars, having the tough hooks all day.
Yeah, that's what gets marketed more nowadays.
So why do you think somebody like Joey Badass, can exist in 2020? Because Joey Badass is not only is he super popular, like he's rich too, like he's cashed out on his music, so
he cashed out on the 90s vibe. That's what he did.
So would you say that Joey Badass is a thought-provoking like past the surface level, like above surface level or beyond surface level?
Yeah, some of his songs.
Yeah, like
Joey Badass.
That one gets me in my feelings a lot, and I don't really feel
See, so we need to clarify the original point here.
Here and there too.
The original point. So we were talking about Kobe or Lil Wayne being the Kobe of rap, and that led to we don't know these other rappers like Lil Wayne is not beyond surf. That doesn't at all address how he is the Kobe of rap. So what people mean by that is Kobe was the champion. Kobe was a 5-time NBA champion. God rest his soul. He was one of the greatest basketball players of all time, but not the greatest. I would say some people would say he's the greatest, but the overall consensus in the sports universe, he's not the greatest basketball player of all time. He is like a junior Michael Jordan. He's not better than LeBron. I could probably say Shaq is better than him. So right. to say Lil Wayne is the Kobe of rap is not to say that Lil Wayne is the best rapper. It's to say that he is the most popular rapper in like a certain span. So Lil Wayne was the most poppin' rapper and the hardest working rapper from '05, '06 mixtape Weezy years. The drought is over, all those. From 2006 until 2009 or 2008, I think, when he dropped the Carter 3. And that went on to sell 1 million first week. But before all that, he was just rapping. And I think that period in time when mixtapes were going crazy with DJ Drama and all them, Gangsta Grills, for those that remember. Gangsta Grills, you bastards. Classics, man. Absolute classics. Now they manage Lil Uzi. They're great. Well, no, they're not great, but they're awesome. Great discography. But Lil Wayne, at that period of time, he changed hip-hop from being more... It was already kind of transitioning from the Pac Biggie era, where it was like... It went from lyrics more to, like, being tough, and, like, Jay-Z started rapping about, like, coke and, like, street stuff. Like, that became more prominent in the early 2000s. Then Lil Wayne took it to, the whole... just rapping and doing remixes and doing all this other shit.
Like being braggadocio, like he brought braggadocio stuff back.
Jay-Z did, not Lil Wayne. Jay-Z brought braggadocious, like, swag rap, like, as I guess I would call it.
You could say Tupac and Biggie were kind of doing that too.
I guess you could say that, but
yeah,
Pac,
that's not our legacy though.
Yeah, Pac was known for positive message more than anything.
Right. So I think the point you're trying to make is that you're saying he's the best based off of popularity, and what I'm saying is, when you're talking about Kobe being the best, it's like saying because he was really good at basketball, right?
It's because he was the hardest working, and he was the champion, like reaching the mountaintop. And the mountaintop.
So what makes a good rapper? What makes a good rapper? Is it his popularity or is it his skills?
It's his impact.
Or her skills or her.
It's the quality and quantity.
For me, it's the impact. Like. The impact a rapper can leave on his adversaries. Like, people are inspired by other people. Like, a lot of people were inspired by Rakim. A lot of people, like, Jay-Z was inspired by Jazzy. Like, Kane. Who was it that Jay-Z took his name from or was inspired by? What was his name, Franco?
By
Jazzy
Jazz.
I think it was literally just Jazz or something like.
I think his name was just Jazz. Yeah, like like Jay-Z had that music video of him carrying like the suitcases, like the Hawaiian stuff.
So whenever anyone talks about whoever was inspired by Jay-Z, they go back and they talk about Jay-Z, and then they go and talk about who inspired Jay-Z. So for me, it's the impact that they leave on the game. It's what they leave for the next generation. Like Kobe Bryant, what he did, he left his mark on basketball, and now you see a lot of players like Devin Booker and Kyrie Irving. They modeled a lot of their game off of him, and that shows his impact was crazy. He gave a lot to the game the same way Lil Wayne did. All the rappers today, whether we like them or not, face tattoos, dreads, quantity over quality. That's all Weezy.
Like, but that's more so style and like.
But that's accounted for in hip hop. That is accounted for in hip hop. It's not just the lyrics.
Right, but we're talking about being the best at something, like rapping,
and that goes into that.
Then that you have to consider complexity and skill.
I think that's what you're talking about. I think Pedro's talking about the cultural impact. I think you want to talk.
I'm saying for me personally, what makes him the Kobe? Because that was the original question: is he the Kobe, right? Because Kanye West was the one saying he's the Kobe of rap. He's not the Kobe of rap. He's not the Kobe of rap. He's not the Kobe of rap because he's just not like Lil Wayne and Kobe. They're like more hand. I feel Kanye is more like a. He's more like a. He had a dominant run and then kind of fell off like towards the end. For Lil Wayne, it was like he was going crazy hard for like a consistent period and then just kind of stopped. Like for Kanye, I compare it more to like Shaq.
I think that
I'll take Shaq. Kanye is like
albums
Shaq.
For a longer period of time than Lil Wayne did. If we start with College Dropout up until I don't know. Where would you say his cutoff is? After My Dark Twisted Fantasy or Jesus?
When he dropped Yeezus
Or
was like when it started to fall down a little bit for me. I didn't like Yeezus too much.
That's a longer time range than Lil Wayne when he was at the top. So couldn't you say that? Couldn't you, by judging by your logic, wouldn't Kanye
those spaces in between,
Kobe
like
Bryant
he's
more
dropping
accurate?
albums, right? And he's on features and stuff like that. He's dominating, like in like, you know, he'll dominate and then go away, dominate and then go away. Like Lil Wayne never went away. It was new music every month. It was new music every week.
I don't think Kanye went away though.
I'm saying, like, he's not dropping a new mixtape every month. Like, this man, like you said, he was focused on making quality albums. And I agree that Kanye West, album-wise, has a better discography than Lil Wayne. Like, his first 3 or 4 albums were all classics, Kanye West. And you can't say the same for Lil Wayne. Carter 1 was, like, a halfway classic. Carter 2, in my opinion, was a classic. Carter 3 was a classic. Carter 4, not so much. Carter 5, definitely not. But you have to look at the mixtapes too, like the mixtapes when he was going in and just changing, like, you know, and it's you want to talk about rhyming, go look at what this guy was doing without even looking at a pad. Like a lot of these rappers you mentioned, they need to write it down. This man, maybe
no, some of them were freestyle kings, and they would do rap battles.
But they're not putting it on record though.
Some of it would get recorded, like some of their rap battles. Like Eminem is a big example of that. A lot of his rap battles were filmed, and some of them you can find on YouTube.
So do you think that these other do you think Rakim will look at somebody like a Lil Wayne and be like, he's like do you think he would agree with you?
Lil Wayne is more interested in celebrity than he is in actual skill. That's like, it's hard to compare that with like basketball, because in order to have celebrity status in basketball, you have to have skills. But in hip hop, that's not necessarily the case.
How so?
Because what matters in hip hop in order for people to buy your stuff is marketing and exposure. So Lil Wayne had more opportunity for that because his stuff was getting marketed more than somebody with actual skill and actually.
So you're saying Lil Wayne has zero skill,
zilch stuff. What's that?
You're saying he has zero skill as a rapper?
I'm not saying he has zero skills. I'm saying that what they care more about, like these record companies and people who are selling his stuff, what they care more about is his style.
So that doesn't go into consideration when you measure a rapper's greatness, their style? That's one of the most important things.
That's not his style as in the way he presents himself, but not the style of like his rap skills.
I think you're focused too much on lyrics, and that's why when I say you lose credibility with the 90s stuff is because a lot of the rappers you mentioned
charisma also plays into it.
Say again?
No one's taking away Lil Wayne had charisma, but we have to look at the overall the overall rapper here.
Better question. How do you measure a rapper's greatness?
You have to look at complexity of their lyrics.
Okay.
Charisma plays a part in that too.
Okay.
That's pretty much it.
That's it? What?
So who's the Kobe Bryant of
charisma and complexity of lyrics?
So those are only lyrics.
I could be missing some stuff. So what else am I missing here?
I asked you if it's only lyrics, and you said no, and you only listed lyrical things.
I said charisma.
And you just said
and
charisma.
Delivery.
Charisma in terms of what? Like their overall charisma as a human?
Their charisma in the way that they present themselves when they're rapping.
Lil Wayne has more charisma than 99% of rappers all time.
He's lacking in skill like how these other rappers are. Do you think these rappers don't have charisma as well?
Measure a rapper's skill then. How do we measure a rapper's skill?
Look at the complexity of their lyric structure. Like I was mentioning earlier, like in the beginning of this debate, you have to look at to see how many words are they rhyming? Are they rhyming internally within the sentences? Are they rhyming entire sentences? What's their vocabulary? Is it surface level thinking, or do you have to go beyond surface level thinking? Because that requires more effort to do than to just rhyme than to just rhyme two different sounding syllables.
So you don't
that description for you then.
What's that, Brooks?
Who fits that description?
Right, that's what I'm
Fit
saying.
that description. Kendrick Lamar is a great example of that.
I can argue that Kendrick Lamar doesn't have like his rhyme, like the way he rhymes. He's not rhyming complete sentences. He more often rhymes in the end of words.
You're gonna have to show us, bro. Show us some of this music that you're talking about.
There's this YouTube channel called like Spite, where they highlight the words that rhyme. Kendrick Lamar has a lot of internal rhyming in his bars.
So again, I'm gonna ask you again. You keep telling me that it's not only lyric based, but you're only critiquing lyrics. You're not critiquing anything else when it comes to measuring a rapper's greatness. And another question before
I just told you charisma.
Charisma when it comes to lyrics. That's what you're talking about. That's what you just said.
What is rap all about then? Because you're making it seems like it's something else.
Rap is not only about lyrics. It's about your style. It's the way you look. It's the way you say. It's the way you sound.
All right, then your
voice is an instrument. Say again.
That's more so being a celebrity then. That's not.
That doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be a celebrity. Like so. Who's an example here that we can give that came up off their looks is not really so you don't measure that in there at all, like their style, like the way that they impact the game, not only lyrics, only like what they are saying on the track, like lyrically it has to be thought
provoking. You're gonna say that. In what way are they impacting it, though? Are they impacting it in the way that's going to excel and push people to perform even better and have more complexity in their rap skills?
Look at Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar was influenced by Lil Wayne.
Compared to somebody like Rakim, compared to somebody like Big Daddy Kane.
You're only listing 90s rappers, man. It sounds very nostalgic. You got this old man soul, bro. Like the music has evolved.
Because we haven't seen the rappers who are present right now and what they've impacted. If you want me to name other rappers that were around later on than these people that I'm naming, why not look at Andre 3000 or Eminem?
Absolutely. I think that those two rappers are top 10 all time. Andre 3000 and Eminem are both top 10 all time rappers.
Would you say skill wise that they were better than Lil Wayne?
Skill wise in the way you're measuring it, hell yeah.
Then that's what we're talking about here. Kobe Bryant inspired people because of his skills, not because of his style, like how he presents himself.
So what exactly do you consider to be skill? You know, because this man is.
I already explained it so many times.
I sent you the song yesterday where he's highlighting. This man rhymed Antetokounmpo. Antetokounmpo. He rhymed it like for a minute straight. Yes. He rhymed Giannis Antetokounmpo like for a minute straight. I'm not kidding, bro. 1 whole minute of Antetokounmpo rhymes.
And you don't think that other rappers could have rhymed?
I haven't heard it.
Complex words like that.
I haven't heard it. I haven't heard Rakim do that.
Are you kidding me?
Bias.
That's biasness. Like you're looking for stuff that only suits your preconceived notions of Lil Wayne. Rakim has rhymed very complex words. So has Kendrick Lamar. So many other rappers.
No. I was partly joking, but Rakim is like when I like I watch the video and I hear other Rakim songs, like he can rap his ass off, like, and he's like the most technical rapper of all time when it comes down to like.
But the thing that you sent me though, what I saw more of is Lil Wayne just rhyming two different sounds, and that was different oohs and ahs.
So, oh man, you're putting it on a very high scale, man. So let me ask.
But that's how it is when you're measuring skill. It has to be on a high scale, right?
But when it comes to like saying that this man has nothing beyond surface level, I think that comes from somebody that has not heard enough of Lil Wayne's discography. Maybe I think that
he does. He might have a couple songs where he does go beyond surface level, but does he do it as much as these other rappers? I don't think so. because these other rappers, it's like almost all their songs, whereas it's Lil Wayne, it's only a couple, very few songs that you would only find in like.
So how do you feel about the evolution of hip
popular
hop then,
ones.
like
And
where
the
it's
people
at
who
now?
consider him to be like the Kobe are only looking at songs from his main discography, like the Carter 3.
Let me ask you a question. Did Lil Wayne influence like 90% of these rappers today, for better or for worse? Yes or no?
In terms of making rap more popular, he did. But in terms of excelling it into a more complex, art, I would say not as much as all these other rappers. Like even Kendrick Lamar mentions Lil Wayne. Yes, he does. He mentions Lil Wayne, but he also mentions other rappers who have more complexity in their skills than Lil Wayne does.
But you never influenced by just one person though either. You gotta think about that too.
Right? Yeah, you're influenced by a lot of
Multiple people. Yeah, sure. I would say Jay-Z is more influential than Lil Wayne when it comes to actually rapping. Like when it comes to like the lyrics. Like there's a lot more people that have referenced Jay-Z lyrics than Lil Wayne. I'll give him that. I'm not saying that
absolutely the Jordan of rap, but
I'm not saying. Look, in my opinion,
I don't know.
In my opinion, Franco, I think that Jay-Z is the best rapper of all time when it comes to like all facets of hip hop, like being like a lyricist, being a rhyme scheme, being a marketing, whatever.
That I disagree, but that's a debate for another time.
Jay-Z and damn, I had one.
You think Jay-Z's better than Nas?
Oh yeah.
Like lyric-wise, you think that Jay-Z's better than Rakim?
I'm about to blow your mind real quick. I'm about to blow your mind. I think that Future is more influential than Nas. Future.
Currently, yeah, but that's
all
more
time.
so
all time.
Going for popularity though. Like if you want to be a popular rapper, you would get influenced by Future.
It's the sound.
If you want to get influenced into having good skill, like complex skills.
You're snitching on yourself. You're snitching on yourself right now, dude. You're exposing yourself for not listening to these new rappers. All of them sound like Future. So I did not see this many people sounding like Nas in the early 2000s or the late 2000s.
There's a difference between being a copycat or being somebody who is taking some elements from there and turning it into something that's their own.
Wouldn't you say?
Would you say more people are trying to sound like Future in a way that they're copying him, or are they taking some elements from him and turning it into something that's their own?
Some of them are literally copy and paste, and other are like taking elements. So
I wanna bring up one thing that
Lil Wayne
Franco keeps on bringing up is the fact that when he compares it to Kobe, he's talking about the skill, but you also have to think about the fact that yes, Kobe is great as a skilled player, but he was also someone who brought out a ton of memories for people. He's had like incredible moments in his career. He's had the longevity. He's had 2 acts as a player.
But that doesn't matter because it's all about lyrics.
Right, I know what you mean.
Let me finish my point.
All right, go ahead.
You went from number 8 to number 24, 2 completely different people. When you think about someone like Lil Wayne, you think about him being from like the Hot Boys and all that in New Orleans, being with Juvenile and all that, and then he goes from there to the mixtape era, being someone who heavily influenced that time, being someone who is the face of the mixtape era with DJ drama and all that, and then he aged into someone who's basically like the tastemaker or was a tastemaker of rap, putting on Nicki Minaj, putting on Drake. He was someone who helped influence other guys, and now he's just gracefully aged out of rap. And I think that's similar to what Kobe did. And you can argue all you want about the complexity of the rap, but you got to think about the impact that he had on the game overall. Sure, he didn't help people think about, being a better rapper, skill-wise, being someone who makes you think a lot, but that's not his.
Is he influencing them to help them with their popularity? Like, are they looking to Lil Wayne to see how they can get more popular? Or are they looking to Lil Wayne to see how they can improve the complexity and skill of the art of rap
Do you think that none of these other rappers that you mentioned didn't want to get popular either? They didn't care about popularity. All they cared was about the music, and that's it.
Yeah, they did, but they also cared a lot.
You're
about
saying that like
skill.
it's a negative.
It's not negative. That has its place, but that's something that's separate from increasing the complexity of an art.
That's where the mixtape.
Yeah,
that's where mixtape Weezy comes into play. As Brooks was saying, like Lil Wayne was the first rapper doing that, and then everyone that wanted to blow up, like Young Thug did that to blow up. Gunna did that to blow up.
His mixtape just got popular. He was not the only one that was making mixtapes.
Making mixtapes as often as him. There's no rapper. Look at the amount of music Lil Wayne dropped from 05 to 08, 07-ish. Nobody did that in a 3-year span. None of the rappers you ever mentioned, nobody.
Lil B created like hundreds of songs.
Stop.
In a short amount of time
Lil
span.
B, stop.
You can't compare Lil Wayne to Lil B.
Stop.
You're talking about
gonna
quantity.
Go take a bath in acid.
I'm not saying the quality of Lil B's songs were good. I'm not going to argue that.
Quantity.
You're
not
talking
even
about
the quantity.
quantity of songs,
not
right?
even the quantity. Not even the quantity. From 05 to 07, nobody put out as much content as Lil Wayne. And
you don't know that.
I know that for a fact.
You're just saying that because you've seen that with Lil Wayne, but you don't know every rapper that existed during that time span.
We could figure that out. So, do you think that I don't know any of these rappers? You keep saying that you're not mentioning, you're not thinking of. Do you think that I only know Lil Wayne and that's it? I don't know any of these other rappers that you ever mentioned.
No, but you only know.
Do you think that I am uneducated when it comes to hip hop? Because the way you speak is like you're a hip hop historian, and that I don't know a thing about hip hop.
I have not kept up with hip hop in like years. I'm just saying that.
How can you make these statements then?
I'm just saying that to say that Lil Wayne is like Kobe is ignoring other people that exist outside of the narrow set of rappers that you're aware of.
The narrow set of rappers that I'm aware to.
Yeah, it's a narrow set of rappers.
How can you make that? How can you make that statement? You even said that you haven't been keeping up with hip hop. So how can you make that statement about me?
I've shown you the list of artists.
You haven't heard as much hip hop as me. That's a fact. You just started listening to hip hop in like 2011, like 2010, man.
I didn't start listening to hip hop in 2011. Heavy. It doesn't mean that it didn't dive deep into hip hop and during that time span. And since 2011, that's a pretty long time.
Yeah. Not as long as 04, 05.
04, 05, and you didn't dive deep enough into so many other rappers that exist out there.
So you're telling me, you consistently name the same rappers every time. Like, you'll always be like, but you're not thinking about people like Rakim and not like... You mentioned probably you rotate between like the same 10 rappers, so that sounds pretty narrow to me, don't you think?
No, I mean I brought my old iPod here, but it has to be charged, and I can show you like my long list of people. I named a lot of people actually. I named R.A. the Rugged Man. I named Talib Kweli. I named Mos Def. There's Pharoah Monch. There's who else is out there?
Do you see a theme with these rappers that you're mentioning? There's no like. Common denominator there. There's no common denominator.
There's
like
3000, Big Boy.
What do these rappers share in common, Franco? What do all of them share in common? They all come from the same era. You're not looking at any other era. That's too narrow. Era? That's too narrow.
Kendrick Lamar is not from the same era.
That's as these the only 2010 rapper you have named has been Kendrick. You haven't named anyone else.
Same era as these people.
I had to tell Joey. I had to tell you Joey Badass. You didn't say that. I had to tell you that one.
I brought up. Did I bring up Kendrick Lamar? Or you brought up. No,
you brought up Kendrick.
I think you did, but
you are. I don't know. I know for sure you didn't bring up Joey, but what I'm saying is you're not giving enough you haven't mentioned like a YBN Cordae. Like he's fits the exact. Do you know who YBN Cordae is?
Yeah. I do.
He fits,
I don't listen to a lot of their stuff. I haven't listened to a lot of their stuff though. That's why I don't bring them up.
He fits the exact category that you're speaking on, like rhyme complexity and like rhyming more than one word in a sentence. Juice WRLD also was a very like lyrically like he might be talking a lot about drugs and shit, but like his wordplay, like the complexity and all that stuff. I didn't hear you mention any of these other guys. You're only mentioning people from like 1.5 eras, like. And you want to talk about a narrow list of rappers? That's pretty damn narrow. And when you reference examples...
How is that narrow?
one era. Like we're
That's
talking
not
about a
one
genre
era.
that's
I just told
existed
you
for
so many
50
other people
years.
that I listened to that were beyond the 2000s.
You said one person from the 2000s and
Ooh.
Kendrick.
I told you Big Crit. I told you Kendrick Lamar.
Two.
I told you LP. Killer Mike is still making music. Ghostface Killah is still making music.
When were they like at the peak of their musical careers? Right now is not the peak of Big Mike's musical or Killer Mike's musical career. Would you say right now?
But it was in the early 20. It was in like the mid 2010s. I haven't listened to his recent stuff, but so I can't really say if he really hit his peak. But his peak did not come in the early 2000s. His peak came much later than that.
So I feel for you to make the claim that Lil Wayne has no skill, you need to be more hip.
What happened?
I said for you to make that statement that Lil Wayne has basically little to no skill, you need to be more hip on like a wider variety, like the way you're criticizing.
And I'm naming you all these rappers.
More people though.
Say again.
So he's been listing out more people too.
Earl Sweatshirt is another one.
I would.
Then Vince Staples.
So
he peaked at a certain point though.
What I feel like is coming across here is that you're more of an underground hip hop guy, and we're talking about mainstream, and you want to give these guys a certain more amount of attention, which, in all honesty, is very, very fair. But
deserving too.
Yeah, very, very deserving. I mean, and Pedro's,
nothing away from any of those guys.
Yeah, there's no disrespect going on there, but I just want to get a clear answer from you. Who is the one person that
embodies
fits the Kobe Bryant mentality to you, the Kobe Bryant model to you?
Wait, before you answer that, Franco.
Who fits the Kobe Bryant model to me?
Let me explain. Savage killer mentality, like I'm naming his mental and like skill. Or no, I'll just give you skill. The best footwork in the NBA, one of the best jumpers, super savage, like coming down like the clutch, like where would you say like that can be transformed into a hip hop body?
From the 2000s, because you're talking about that era.
I'm talking about your one person, just your one person.
One person.
Yes.
Ooh, that's really hard.
Who's your?
Because I at the top of my list, I have people like Rakim and Cool G Rap, who a lot of people did take influence from. So that's who's at the top of my list. Rakim, Cool G Rap,
right now is your Kobe Bryant of rap.
But those are 90s people, though.
I know, but so regardless of the era, regardless of the time,
I'm not as familiar with basketball as you guys are. So are you guys saying that Kobe Bryant is better than Michael Jordan?
No one is ever saying that. What we're talking about is technical skills. We're talking about cultural impact. We're talking about impact on rap. We're talking about longevity. Who is the Kobe Bryant of rap?
Impact on the culture?
Yes, cultural impact.
Rakim, no question.
Okay.
You wouldn't have a lot of these other rappers if it wasn't for Rakim.
So would
so then wouldn't he necessarily be the Jordan of rap?
That's what I was about to say.
Jordan is the one who's
okay. Rakim is Jordan. You can say that.
Let's say Kobe is like somewhere within the top 3 to 5.
Baby Jordan.
He's like within the top 3 to 5. Where would you say from there? Because Rakim, if Rakim is your GOAT, then he's at the very top. And I think universally it's agreed that Kobe's not there. Kobe universally is accepted within the top 5. So somewhere within that parameter.
I'd have to really think about that and analyze it. I would say right now, maybe MF Doom.
You don't have to
like look at how much MF Doom's beats are used in like. Is Pedro frozen?
No,
he's
how much MF Doom is referenced or his beats are used with people like Earl Sweatshirt or the people like in Odd Future or I think even like Danny Brown. I would say maybe MF Doom.
Okay.
I'm not solidifying that though, but that's not something that.
Okay, so that's your answer. We're taking that as your answer. Pedro's answer. Look, is.
I will say this. I'm going to make a counter argument. Okay, against Lil Wayne being. Look, I'm gonna make it one counter argument against Lil Wayne being raps Kobe. Okay, this is the only counter argument I have, and it would have been a valid point if you brought this up.
What?
Well, actually, you couldn't.
Were you gonna say I should have said Eminem?
No. What I was gonna say was this: one reason Lil Wayne can be considered not the Kobe of rap is because Kobe was gifted, or no, Kobe was not gifted a lot of the same physical attributes as some of these other guys. Like LeBron is really, really buff, and like and the size was God gifted. You don't train to be like that big. And Michael Jordan had really big hands and like more like hang time, athleticism, just like naturally, right? So I think that can probably be like the natural God-given stuff. That can probably be the looks in hip hop, like because you are God-gifted like certain like attributes, like you're like a short guy and like you grow dreads and stuff like that. Like you don't control that. That's just kind of happens. And Kobe made his mark by just being very technical and being very like
being the hardest worker in the game,
relying on skill and working hard. So in terms, and so that would add credence to your argument because he's going off straight skill, and you're actually basing most of your argument off of straight skill. So obviously you wouldn't have been able to bring that up because you don't follow Kobe that much. But that's like the main narrative on Kobe is that he doesn't have the God-given skills that some of these other guys have, and made his mark off straight work. But for me, my final stance, Lil Wayne is the Kobe of rap because he is the hardest working, most impactful, and has the skill. So that's where I'm at with Kobe.
I think a lot of his stuff were not very hard working. It was focusing more on making sales rather than actually making complex.
How did he get sales off of mixtapes, bro?
The mixtapes.
The mixtapes were
not. They're not anything that's like.
You're talking about sales, right? But you know that Lil Wayne was not
rappers,
paid.
though.
Lil Wayne was not paid jack shit by Birdman for years, and he was just posting music for free on the internet. It was getting illegally downloaded back in the day. So a lot of his content was being consumed for free, and that's why he put out so much, is because he wants to gain popularity. It's like the same method people use on SoundCloud. SoundCloud is not a monetized platform. So when you post on SoundCloud, you're posting to gain a fan base. And Lil Wayne created that wave of creating a fan base while not being monetized for your music just yet. He had this whole legal situation with Birdman.
He didn't create that. That's something that was used since the beginning of hip hop.
Let's not say he was created.
He didn't create it. He was one of the first popular rappers to do that. Let's say that.
He legitimatized.
He popularized. He didn't create it. He popularized it. That's the correct word I should use. He popularized it. So
he repopularized it.
Okay, sure, that's fair. He repopularized it, and I'm sure. Yeah, we could probably go back and find other people that did it before him, like that really created it. So I won't give Lil Wayne that. He didn't quite earn that, but you can't say that he was not working hard. If you go back and you look at his discography and how
during that time, I'll give him that he was working hard, but were his skills as complex as some of these other rappers? You can be a hard worker, but
Kobe's skills weren't as complex as Jordan. So Kobe's skills were not complex as Jordan or really as LeBron, in my opinion. So, so that you're basically proving my point.
Basketball is completely different.
But that's what the whole topic is. We're talking about Kobe as Lil Wayne.
We are creating an analogy here, but we're not saying the complete what was the point I was trying to make? Kobe was showing he was succeeding with what he had, right?
Mm-hmm. And so was Lil Wayne
with his skills.
With the skill and hard work, yeah.
Skill and hard work, just like Lil Wayne.
So these other rappers were also succeeding in terms of accomplishing their level of skills, right?
Absolutely. No rapper ever is going to make it without having some type of skill.
Would you say that some of these people did it better than Lil Wayne? In terms of using their skills, you don't think they worked hard in order to master the complexity of their rap skills?
Yeah, I do think so.
All right, then doesn't that defeat your argument?
No, it doesn't.
If they worked harder, or you're just going off of popularity right now?
I'm not. I'm saying that no rapper worked harder in a period of time to popularize this. Like,
you don't know that. That's an assumption that you're using just because of the mixtape.
I'm talking about from the rappers that I've witnessed. Like not only the ones that I've witnessed, but some of the ones further. Like Nas. I'll give you a perfect example. Nas was not doing like a mixtape every month. Rakim, back then you couldn't even create that much music. So I could already tell you that he was definitely posting more content than a lot of the other rappers you're talking about because it was more easily accessible. It's called the internet. It's called illegal downloads. A lot of these rappers that you mentioned, they have to drop, and then the next day or 2 days, the fans got to go buy it at the store. Maybe it's not even because it's their fault. You know, it's just the time that they came up in. And same for Lil Wayne. You know, he became more popularized because his music was easier to access.
Shout out Livewire.
You don't know that.
I know that. I know that for a fact. I know that for a fact.
Are you aware of every rapper that was out there during that time?
What during
I'm not
mixtape?
I'm not gonna pretend like I know every single other rapper that was out there during that time that was working hard. So you can't say that he was working as hard.
Are you talking
as
about
other
from
rappers
05
out there.
to 07? Because I can give you a whole bunch of them from 05 to 07.
You're gonna name me a bunch of mainstream people.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Rich Boy is not mainstream. Back then, Black Youngster was not mainstream. Back then, Gucci was not really mainstream.
You're naming me people whose rap skills are not as good as Lil Wayne's, though.
They got skill, though. They definitely... Gucci has rap skills. Are you saying he's not?
Gucci? I honestly do not listen enough to Gucci.
Oh, there you go. And when you hear it, come back to me, and you'll be like, maybe you might agree, maybe you won't. But that's where I'm at. I'll take I'll take Weezy as my Kobe. I'll take him over Kanye, and I'll definitely take him over Rakim.
You're using Weezy as being an influence on influencing people to help popularize hip hop.
Yep.
That's not the same thing as evolving the art.
He did evolve it. He did evolve it. There's no question he did.
Okay, how did he influence it to make it more complex?
That's not all it's about, dude. Music has evolved, bro. Like, it's not only you see, you're stuck in one mindset that it has to be complex lyrics with double entendres, and that's the only way it can ever be good, bro. Music has evolved.
But isn't that skill?
Do you realize when buildings get old, they knock them down and build new ones? They don't keep old buildings. Buildings get
what does that have to do with this argument?
What it has to do is things evolve. Things change over time. They're not always going to remain the same, and not everyone is going to measure greatness that same way that you are. Only using specific arguments and you're basically just using points like that are more towards your preference, and that's okay too, because I'm kind of doing that as well. Hip hop is not really that objective like
universal
that.
Love for the rap, but I want to get you guys' final opinions on everything, and then we're gonna wrap it up, and then that'll be the end of the debate. Franco, you said MF Doom is your Kobe. I need to get a little more analysis out of this.
I didn't take enough time to think about it. I was kind of put on the spot there, but judging based off of MF Doom's like.
Based off of skill, based off of impact, based off of all that.
Impact, yeah, based off of his discography that he had during that time.
During which time?
2000s. But that's not the argument of this debate. It's whether Lil Wayne is or is not. We're not saying who is.
I asked you who your Kobe Bryant was. You said
right, but we're saying whether Lil Wayne is not. The argument.
And your answer is no.
Yeah, your answer is no. That's okay.
Lil Wayne is
not.
What
I want to know.
And my answer is yes. My answer is yes for the technical skills that he has that you're ignoring.
But you're saying that
for the work ethic and for the impact of the game. You don't know that. You don't know that I don't know.
I'm not pretending like I know by saying that it's Lil Wayne though.
You're telling me I'm pretending to know?
Yeah, because you don't know. You don't know what other rappers were out there.
That's not a fair argument.
The argument is whether Lil Wayne is the Kobe of rap.
He is.
And you said no.
You can't say that if you don't know what else was out there.
So then why are we having this debate then? If I'm not allowed to say it, if you are not allowing me to say it, what am I allowed to say? What should we even have had this debate if I shouldn't say it? You're accusing me of not.
Say what?
So ask me some questions. Test my knowledge.
On what?
You're the one saying I don't know, so test me.
Do you know what other rappers were out there during that time?
Yeah, I just mentioned some. And then you debunked my argument right after I answered your question. So what else should I say? You asked me to name you other rappers from and I just did.
But those all of them? We haven't listed
It's not all of them.
We can't make that
You
argument.
want me to sit here and list every single rapper?
It doesn't have to be a comprehensive. This doesn't have to be a comprehensive debate. We're literally just trying to have a heart-to-heart conversation about this. Do
you remember?
No, because that argument that Lil Wayne is the Kobe is illogical.
It's a debate.
It's
exactly.
Basically, Franco's saying that every opinion that's not his is incorrect. That's basically what he's saying.
We're not trying to get Biden versus Trump here, dude. We're literally just trying to have fun and have a conversation about it.
Dude, we had the same conversation with Enya, right?
Base off of this debate off of just opinions.
So hold on.
Instead of actual facts.
I already gave you facts. You ignored the facts.
You ignored
the facts.
That's an opinion.
You ignored the facts and gave straight opinions. You ignored every fact that I tried to throw at you and debunked it with your
skills
opinion.
Can be measured. That's subjective.
It can be measured by what?
By looking at the sentence structure, by seeing how the level of vocabulary you're using.
You're only
by looking
you're
at
only
how
on
the entire
one aspect,
sentences
dude.
that are used. By looking at whether it goes beyond surface level thinking.
You are implying that Lil Wayne's fan base is dumb. Just say it. Just say it.
I'm not saying they're dumb. I'm saying they're not exposed to as much music, or they only know the mainstream.
Stop.
They don't listen.
How can you
other
speak
stuff.
for everyone? You already spoke for me. Now you're speaking for everyone else.
People who have been exposed to more music, more hip hop, are more likely to say that Lil Wayne is not.
You're not one of them.
The debate is you can't make the argument that Lil Wayne is Kobe if you're not aware of what else is out there.
You don't have to have a comprehensive list of everybody.
Yeah, that's not really how that works. But look, Franco, I see your point, and I already agreed with you. As far as Lil Wayne is not the greatest rapper of all time. I know some people that listen to him probably feel that way. That's the furthest thing from the truth. Are there more rappers lyrically skilled than him? Of course, obviously, but I'm not marginalizing it to just that. I'm taking the whole package into consideration because rappers don't just rap. They also show themselves. They also carry themselves outside of a studio. It's not, you can't measure a rapper's greatness just off their rhyme scheme.
All right, that's separate from music then. If you're saying the way that they carry themselves, when they're out there, that's separate.
And that was the premise of this debate: is he the Kobe of rap? That includes everything. That's not just technical skill. What you're doing here is you're trying to convince people to think the way you think, and you're not taking anyone else's opinion as valid. You're undermining the facts by telling me that I'm not informed, which isn't true. So you're spewing out lies because I'm disagreeing with your standpoint, and that's not really a debate. That's just you trying to convince us that we should think the way you think, and it's just not like that. Lil Wayne is the Kobe. Lil Wayne is the Kobe of rap. Lil Wayne's the Kobe of rap. In my opinion, it's not a foregone conclusion. It's just my opinion that I am absolutely 100% entitled to. You mentioned more than 3 rappers. I'm over exaggerating my point a little bit, but what I'm saying is you're naming the same guys. You're not naming anybody else.
If you're talking about the popular culture of hip hop, what it is now, I'm not taking away what your argument that Lil Wayne influenced people. I'm not taking that away. He influenced people who are now mainstream. Mm-hmm. But in terms of making rap more complex. Did Lil Wayne make rap more complex?
Let me give you an example here real quick.
No. Just answer the question.
Does Lil Wayne make rap more complex? Yeah, he sure did. So I think we could probably end the debate here. We could definitely talk about it more often. Brooks, welcome to my world.
No. Look. What made Kobe Bryant popular? Wasn't it his skills that got him to where he was?
Jesus, dude, we're gonna keep saying the same shit over and over again. You're not budging on your stance, so I don't know what else there is to even talk about.